Oh, right. Are we live? Finally. Jesus Christ. Welcome to the stream. I'm Martin Shkreli. The stream? Great. Gosh, that took forever. Sorry about that. So one stock I was asked to look at is OPRA. Yes, that OPRA, the web browser company. So that'll be interesting. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to Stefan and Magnus and Kamal and Dusty and Vinny, Alex, all you guys. What's up? I don't think AGI is coming that way, but we'll see. Maybe. Never say never, right? There's so many stocks to look at. And I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I wish I could rapid fire know every stock like the back of my hand and just spit something real each time I stream, but it's not that easy. The debate was lame. I'm not sure either candidate made a good impression, to be honest. Yeah, we live streamed the debate in my Discord, and it was I don't know, really disenchanted with politics. Anyway, let's look at OPRA. So this is OPRA. My cat is here. She's avoided all Haitians. Yeah, isn't that right? Isn't that right, kitty? That's OPRA Limited. So, I don't know. Oslo. Where's Oslo again? Is that Canada? I'm kidding. They do 6Ks instead of real SEC filings. One of the world's major browser developers. Okay. Bold. I like it. Maybe like 5% market share. Ad revenue, search revenue, that's it. Are those the same thing, chat? I got a new 3-monitor setup here, by the way, so this is new monitor. I can't tell the difference, by the way. Like, this monitor is super expensive, but I don't even understand why. I don't know. Do you guys know? You can kind of see it. I can move stuff on here. So maybe I should move, like, picture nibbles on here or something. I'll go to the office later. All right, what are you, my boss? Get the F out of here. Don't talk to me like that. Yeah, maybe I'll throw some games on there and see. Yeah, it's OLED, it's this, it's that, I don't know. The guy told me it's really good. So, It's like $2,000. I don't know what it's good for, to be honest, but I'm supposed to be amazed by it. Doesn't feel that amazing. Well, it actually looks okay. It's really high res. It's like 6 million pixels by 4 million pixels. Can't see anything. It's too small. Okay, so anyway, it's 2.5 billion cap. That's a big company. Yeah, let's do Minecraft. Fuck it. I think most of the services are reporting the market cap wrong. Wrong, kitty. Wrong, you're gonna be eaten by Haitians. Wrong. You guys want to see Nibbles? You want something, Nibbles? Come on up. Come on up, say hi to the peoples. Yeah, come on up. You know how to jump up here. Oh, you little monkey. There's your little monkey. Oh, you little monkey. Look at the little monkey. There's your little monkey. Oh, look at the little monkey. Here. Alright. That's enough of our little monkey. I've definitely traded Forex. Yeah, all the reports have the market cap at 1.2. I wonder if the ADR has a different ratio. That could be it. So we'll look into that in a second. Oh, yeah. All I have to do is read like literally one more sentence. These guys are really Norwegian. Frode Jacobsen. The Haitians are here, Kenny. No, I just let positions go to the ground, honestly. Like, I like Antilia. I'll be with it to the end. Looks like it's maybe not my best stock pick ever, but that's why I caution against taking any individual stock from anybody. Like, unless you can see their whole portfolio, you got to be pretty careful. It's like, you know, I made this liquidity stock pick 2 years ago, and it's gone up like 5x or something like that, 4x. And it was the first pick I made out of jail, and I wrote it up on Wall Street Bets, and that did really well. Nvidia's not done, Intilia's not done as well, but it's done very poorly, in fact. But you know, you gotta. Sometimes you. Okay, they have this investment in something called OPay, which I'm guessing is like OPRA Pay or something. Yeah, I don't really do. Yeah, I hold losses forever in most cases. Yeah, I like a lot of different stocks. Hero, I've been streaming about it. One I like is Zoom, and then this other one called Tarsus. But yeah, if I say I like a stock, you shouldn't just run out and buy it, obviously. Give you some idea for your own portfolio. I mean, all this stuff's just getting started. You know, I don't do 1 week, 1 month picks. That doesn't really make sense to me. You know, you really have to have your ear to the ground to Wall Street to do that. I think it's quite hard. It would be. Yeah, Intel could be good. That's interesting. Maybe refresh. Okay, let's see. Wow, stock is at $4 2 years ago. I wonder how long they've been public. Yeah, Roctavian's fucking terrible. Looks like 2019. Yeah. Goodell is really going to be designed for professional investors. So, I mean, we want retail investors to be able to pay as little as possible and institutional investors to pay less than what's out there, but much more. So you'll kind of see like some pretty advanced functionality start to get developed, and then you have to sort of decide if you really want to pay for that. And it may not make sense unless you have a multi-million-dollar portfolio. Yeah, if you locked in a good price, good for you. I'll probably lose money in your account. Shut up, kitty. I should shut up. Yeah, if I get too many of those locked-in accounts, you guys are going to put me out of business. No, there's no such thing as a tech company that wants fewer users. Maybe Bloomberg. They're pretty stupid. It's not like it was when Mike was running the show. Oh, am I beefing with Bloomberg? I'm taking the beef to the next level. Taking it to the next level. I'm beefing on behalf of all of Wall Street. Everyone hates Bloomberg on Wall Street. It's a product you love to hate. 2-year contract. Get the... You trying to hear that? It's really toxic and not inclusive. Okay, so Opera's like a pretty traditional ad-based company, I think. Could be wrong, but that's what it looks like. My poor kitty cat. There's no Haitians coming. I'm just kidding, kitty. I don't think that's very funny. They're gonna eat you. Oh no! Oh no, kitty stew. We can't afford to become like Venezuela, where cats and dogs are eaten out of necessity, and that's not a joke. I think the American cats and dogs being eaten is a joke. I don't think that's real. No, you can't eat nibbles. Get out of here. I'm not going to let him eat you. Oh, my baby. Oh, my little baby. She's just a little cream puff. That's right. That's right. Sorry, I talk to this cat like it's my child. I don't know if some of you guys do that too. Trading is different from research, right? These are not the same things. Well, trading tools are different from research tools. That's maybe the better way to say it. Bloomberg doesn't really do trading tools. They have something called Tradebook, but it's not really... not really what drives that business. It's more of a research tool and a communication tool to a smaller extent, in my opinion. Shut up, kitty. You're really yapping over there. Stop yapping. Broker, it depends. I mean, depends on what you're trying to do. Interactive's pretty good. I'd say Interactive's pretty good. But there's all kinds of brokers you may or may not need depending on what you're trying to do. Oh, they have a div. Okay. I don't think it'd be a very good president. I think it'd be good at internal affairs. I don't think it'd be very good at the external. The external part of the job is very important. What happened to Twitter? What do you mean? Okay, 4-second audio sync delay. That sounds right. Let me see if I can fix that. I changed some settings on Streamlabs just to... I don't know if it was sexier than Black Card because it actually just pissed traders off because you have to log in with the damn card, and it was just frustrating. If you left the card at home or in your Hamptons house or wherever, you're shit out of luck to log you on a Bloomberg. And then you got to remember your password, and then you got to be on your desktop. It's just a fucking shit show. No DNA because it's good. Perceptive over here, very perceptive. This is Almir Bekarovich. Almir Bekarovich? I don't know how to say it exactly, but thank you. Good question. I'd like to exclude DNA and get closer to like a non-gap. But obviously I'm going to look at cash flow too. Got to look at both. Putting these in the wrong columns. These Norwegians pay their taxes. Shut up, kitty. I hear you. I hear you meowing out there. There she is. Yeah, rest in peace, Young Thug. We did a little tribute. I do look at macro sometimes, not often though. I do think you should consider depreciation sometimes. I mean, I think you should. You could put it in the income statement sometimes. Nothing wrong with that, as long as you're always looking at the cash flow statement too. Ma kitty, ma kitty. That's right. Okay, so they did some really big capex. I don't know what the heck they bought, but they bought $20 million of capex at some point. Depreciate Elon's brain. Young Thug died today? Shut up. No fucking way. Impossible. He's on trial. Yeah, no. Stop capping, bro. Stop capping. I mean, he is a rapper and a gangbanger, and he's in prison. The chances he dies is not zero. We all gotta go someday, man. Yes, kitty, I love you. Yes, I do. These guys have like a very normal capex pattern with like, just like very little maintenance and just like one big spend here, probably some servers or something. My lifestyle. Lifestyle. Okay, they did buyback. I don't understand the difference between advertising revenue and search revenue. $313 million MAUs. Okay, that's important. Yeah, I was gonna say it's all ads at the end of the day. Shut up, kitty. So growth on users is flat. Yeah, kitty's got her monthly issue. She's losing it. It's remarkable how profitable they are, really, like, not simple. They don't bleed too much. Norwegian. Looks like Norwegian, but I don't know. It could be. I think it's registered in Norway. Haven't looked that deep yet. Okay. Shush, kitty. Revenue growth 17% every quarter for the last 3 quarters. For a browser, it's kind of impressive. Browser users aren't growing though, and I expect they would decline over time as well. I guess people who like Opera like Opera. It's 300 million people. It's not a small number, but it's still a little bit. Okay. Check. I'm not muted. You got to check your system. All right. They capitalized. Look at that development expenditure. What the hell is that? Then you got capex. Now you got devex. Hell. Wish I could capitalize research costs. I missed that in the other. You guys see this chat? Do you see this? When have you ever seen that? Development expenditure? Is PP&E? Let's see, it's supposed to be property. Code is not property. That means real estate. Plant? No, it's not like a factory or equipment. Property, plant, and equipment. Okay. You say so. Seems a little weird to me. Must have missed it last time. Let me see here. Is it here too? Development expenditure. So is this like basically code that its useful value is over a year? That's kind of harebrained. Backwards as well. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you say nonsense in my chat, you get timed out. You do it twice, you get a warning. You get 4 warnings, you get a long timeout. You get 5 long timeouts, you get banned. And reported. Cyber police. You're done. You're done now. And I have no sympathy. None. Okay, you want another timeout? Timeout! 1 minute timeout. My pronouns are he, him. I'm getting ready for Kamala's presidency. Everybody pick your pronouns. Get ready. Put them in your profiles. Play it safe. don't want to get in trouble with the boss. He, him. You got any questions, you ask he, him, all right? It's not a game. You trying to go to prison? Pick your fucking pronouns, all right, kid? Take it from me, it's not fun. Just pick the fucking words, all right? Nothing's gonna happen to you. Nobody's gonna laugh at you. It's not that big a deal. Unless you like jail. Oh, you don't think you're gonna go to jail? Oh, you're going to jail if you don't pick your pronouns. This shit's a problem. No, we didn't have pronouns in prison. Are you crazy? My lifestyle. Lifestyle. Yeah, prison doesn't play, man. They don't think this shit is funny. The BOP is extremely non-inclusive. There were a lot of trans prisoners though, but it didn't matter. We had to refer to them, at least in the program I was in, we had to refer to the trans prisoners by their new names, their transition names. And man, I had to teach some of these guys. A lot of guys are mad. They're like, I'm not fucking doing that. And I'm like, listen, man, is it worth it to you to, in this program, you got a year off prison. It's like, is it really worth it to you to go home to your family a year late just because you have this mindset? He's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I ain't calling that person whatever the female name was. And in the jail system, where like you saw all the names, like you could see the other inmates' names, it was like Steven. But everyone they wanted everyone to call them, I forgot what the name was, Jill or something, right? It wasn't Jill, but I don't remember what the name was. Sophia, I don't know. And there were definitely guys that were just really upset about it. Destiny was the name. That's right. I'll never stop making fun of dude. It was just, it was just something that was a culture shock for a lot of these people. It was a little bit of a culture shock for me too. I mean, it's supposed to be all dudes in there. And obviously the California State Prison, I'm sure you guys know, experimented with having trans prisoners, and it didn't go well. Destiny, as in the cuck. Yes, we were talking about the same person. Yes, correct. Destiny's out at the club with his girl. Other dude comes in. He's like, hey, what are you doing with this loser? Why don't you come home with me? And Destiny goes, can I watch? Yeah, let's do this. The guy's like, you know what? Never mind. Yeah, there is a prison library. Oh, he's a bigger freak than that. No, we're not fucking friends. The hell out of here. He apparently did apologize to me, but it's 2 years too late, man. We had this beef over something 2 years ago. And then, but I still, like, knowing what I know now about him, I still wouldn't be his buddy. Even though I'm pretty open-minded. This guy's just so freaky. Anyway, we don't have to talk about Destiny. Nah, it wasn't fake. He basically said when I got hacked, he said that I did it myself to perpetrate my own crime. I think it was for a couple $100,000. My brother in Christ. If you know anything about me, that is not my goal. But it is what it is. Yeah, I didn't get hacked exactly. I actually kind of owned myself by downloading this torrent. That was really painful. So it's like a really terrible day. But I downloaded this torrent, and the torrent had this remote access Trojan, and it basically just wiped all the crypto off my hard drive. It was really, really surprising. I didn't know that those systems were made. Okay, so for the last, I don't know, what is this, 8 quarters, OPRA's generated 17 million bucks in cash flow every quarter. It's pretty impressive. I lost 400,000, but the problem is it also tanked like my crypto project, so it's really bad. And yes, it was adult torrent. All right, so 17, yeah. I understand it was, yeah, exactly, right? I understand it was, wow, this is a cheap stock. I understand it was a stupid thing to do, but don't say that I engineered it myself. Like, call me an idiot, fine, it was a mistake. But don't tell me that I did it to somehow own myself so that I can steal the money. Like, it's fucking crazy. Quantum computing? Why? Do you like that? You want more quantum? Really? Why? Doodliness, it was less about, like, I kind of knew it was a virus. The problem is that I didn't know that these viruses were optimized to take the crypto off your hard drive. I thought a lot of that stuff was encrypted as well. Live and learn. We actually did a lot of diligence on who it was and stuff like that, but it's impossible to catch these cyber criminals. But we reported it. A guy from one of the exchanges actually said he was investigating the same group. So there's a lot of evidence too, like pretty clear evidence that I could have just showed him, but he jumped out the window, as we say in prison, and he just said, "Oh, he probably did that to himself so he could steal the funds." I'm like, bruh, that's fighting words right there. Just for that, Playboy, I'ma fuck your girl. Who's that chick anyway? She's kind of hot. But knowing what she's done with dude, is kind of problematic. Here she doesn't look so great. Let's see. Ooh, look at this shit. She's pretty. She's definitely pretty. Would you call her hot? Yeah. Yeah. She's hot. That's it. AI. I definitely, just knowing what she's done with that man is enough to turn me off. Type of freak shit you into? I think she was sick of the freak stuff. Just want a normal sexual relationship. I like crazy. Let's push the envelope stuff. That's how you get auto asphyxiated. Asphyxiated? That's how that happens. That's how you end up like Charlie Sheen. Nasty. Crazy. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Fucking crazy. Nasty, crazy asshole. Yeah, David Carradine, exactly. Okay, so if you go back a little further, you do get some spottiness like here in Q1, and then going back to Q2 22, there's also a little bit of lack of earnings, but the growth has been really solid, and it's like, if they keep this level of cash flow growth, look at this chat. Oh, it's 15. If they keep this level of free cash flow, I mean, you're basically looking at 13 times earnings for a growing company. They're not going to grow their, I don't think they're going to grow their users. But I think they have like these other products, like they have this gaming thing apparently, which is kind of unique and interesting. Could be shitty, I don't know, but it's something. It's a growth effort. Oh, they actually declined. They actually declined in MAUs. That's probably why it's so ostensibly cheap. It's probably not actually cheap. GD Shaw versus Jane Street, two very different firms, both excellent, obviously. Oh, this guy Frode Jacobson, he's the CFO. He's not the CEO. I thought he was the CEO. All right, so let's read the Form 20F. This is the equivalent of a 10K for a foreign company. If you see a 20F, that's what that means. And I try not to comment on who I know or don't know. It's kind of personal, and I don't want to put anybody on the spot. You know, if they want to say they know me or they're friends with me, they can do that, you know? There's some people I can talk about that I can't. Like, it's publicly known that I have done business with them or whatever, and that's fine. But, you know, it's still a little bit sensitive, even 10 years later. Kind of crazy, huh? I have never done anything wrong in my goddamn life to deserve that kind of thing. I've done some things wrong in my life, there's no doubt about that. But, okay, here's Kunlun. Kunlun owns more than 50%. Huh. Aha. Aha. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Kunlun. In order to create and spread happiness, we are committed to creating the most cutting-edge entertainment and social media technology products in order to create and spread happiness. Sounds like so... Wiki loves women. Hashtag she said. I'm not going to do it in a Chinese accent. I think that would alienate some of my Chinese friends. This guy owns, I guess, half of Kunlun. Oh, and he's the chairman and CEO of OPRA. They don't put his name in the press release, though. Motherfucker. This guy's cool as hell. VulcanNet for animations. And he worked at RenRen, which was a social media thing? Oh, RenRen went public? RENN? What the hell? Never heard of these guys. I never heard of you. Did they get delisted? Yeah, 2023. What the hell? I'm gonna get to the bottom of this shit. I don't use OctoML. I don't know. I think they have some good people. I think their business is like, I'm not sure what's going on with it, honestly. Kunlun owns 71%. And this guy owns 10.9. So basically, 82% of OPRA is owned by the Chinese. And if you're a user of this browser, what are you thinking? Right? Oh yeah, I love the Chinese web browser. Shit. You can learn deep learning with textbooks. You can learn it by doing it yourself. There's lots of ways. I wouldn't say I'm the world's gift to deep learning yet. Okay, so this is a bit of a weird situation. They're growing revenue while decreasing users. That is something else. Okay, so they actually bought OPRA Norway in 2016 for $575 million. I'm not sure that was the best investment because it's almost 10 years later and it's not worth a whole lot more than that. This is a tricky one. I don't know that I'd buy this, even though it's kind of attractive, just because they're dropping users. The China thing scares the crap out of me because it's a browser, which is like, I don't know, just sort of a fundamental. I gotta keep reading, but it kind of scares me a bit. I'm the faker of pharma investing. That's funny. College is kind of a scam. It depends. It really depends. Opera News, Opera Gaming. Okay, so mobile versus desktop browsers. Looks like it's somewhat popular in mobile. I want to see what the geographical breakdown is for their users. Okay, so ads is, oh, okay. So search is Google and ads is their own thing. That makes sense. $600,000 wallet users, so that's not going too great. They have a VPN as well. VPN's kind of a good idea, but again, do you trust a Chinese VPN? Looks like they're doing a bunch of payment stuff. Cayman Holdings Company. This is a hell of an org chart there. Or business chart or whatever. Interesting, really interesting company. Glad I took the time to look at it. Probably, look, at the right price, anything's a good investment, but and it looks attractive. It really does. It's just like not for me kind of thing. And as they, I guess, take people off Google and put them on their own platform, which looks like kind of what they're doing. Yeah, it's actually going to be higher margin, right? CCP on the board. Let's go. I mean, that might be a good thing. I hate to say it, it might be a good thing. It may not be so bad. I obviously don't like the CCP, but for the stock, listen. All I gotta do is wiggle their finger and say, 100 million more users, no problem. Yeah, this guy is allowed to breathe because Xi Jinping says he's allowed to breathe. I know Xi very well. I know these leaders very well. And they've just been bleeding users. They're at the top of their game. They're very smart people. They eat cats as well. Cooked up Chinese crap. Let's look at Oracle. Uncle Larry. So the browsers, I don't know, they're both dropping. It's hard to grow when you're fundamentally bleeding customers, right? It's like, then you really got to monetize the guys that are sticking with you. Makes it really difficult. You know, how much ARPU can you get out of each user? 50 cents a quarter, $1 a quarter. It depends on how many hours they spend in the browser a day. So if they have it installed and they use it monthly, yeah, they could still jack ARPU, I guess. Depends on where their users are based. Pretty fast revenue growth, I have to admit. Oh, indeed. There aren't enough black people in finance. I want more black culture in finance. Every time I meet a black analyst or black PM, I'm always chilling with them. But a lot of the black guys in finance are, I mean, almost all of them. They're not the stereotype. They're like very educated and very cool. Bunch of nerds. Yeah, I hired a very nerdy black analyst, and he made our firm like $500 million. He was great. I love dude. He married a beautiful white girl. That guy's a beast. Yeah. In fact, one of the reasons I got into this big fight with my board and I ultimately ended up getting arrested was basically because I wanted to pay the guy a huge amount of money because he deserved it. But they didn't like that idea because they're old and talentless. Sucks to be old and talentless. I wouldn't buy that the Intel bottom is here just yet. Dude is 46. Board's half Chinese? No. Board is 62.5% Chinese. Demographic background, LGBTQ+, 0. Non-binary, 0. Underrepresented in home country jurisdiction, 1. Sell, short, get me out of this stock. I'm done with this. It's over. All right, that's it for Opera. I like neutral, basically. It's sort of a cheap stock, but you have, user decline, so how much can revenue really grow? They seem actually somewhat innovative and smart, and kind of a well-run company. It didn't show where the MAUs are coming from. So that's a little sus. Is it a Chinese? Are most of the users in China? I wouldn't think so. But they say North America is a growth market for them. So what's the declining market? That must be where all the users are. It could be Europe. And all it takes is a country to ban them as well. All I gotta do is whisper in Trump's ear, hey, there's a web browser called Opera run by China. He's gonna be like, what? Why didn't I know about this? You're telling me this for the first time? What? Why am I first hearing about this from you? Why didn't JD tell me? You could buy the 5 puts for Cassava. That's kind of like the degen moon move. Like triple your money maybe, quadruple, if you're lucky. I just don't like to have to be lucky. I think the debate was whatever. I mean, I hate politics. They're both idiots. She seemed so fake and insincere, and he seemed kind of rambling, and I don't know. So there's almost nothing in China here. It's really funny. Like, you type China, nothing happens. I like how it says China excluding, for the purposes of this annual report only, Taiwan. Yeah, they don't really talk about like North America versus China MAU breaking out. Which one is which? Yeah, I should have searched for geography. Oh well, it's over. Let's go to a different company. It's really interesting though. I guess Opera belongs in here. Whatever. You guys want to program BASIC later? Language I learned on. You want to make it LLM in BASIC? That would be fucking elite. What do you think? Basic LLM. Why? Because we can. That's why. Not VB. Not VB, dog. Basic. Maybe QBasic, but we ain't doing VB. Visual? Who the hell said something about visual? Visual? R is not a programming language. I'm just kidding. No Ruby on Rails, please. All right, let's go to Oracle, baby. Let's go. The one and only inimitable database software company, Oracle. Woo, yeah. Said nobody ever. But the stock won't quit. You know, it's just going up and up and up. Of course, I think Sava will sink and burn. This is a fucking fake drug company, dog. I know Remy 25 years. It's 21 years. This shit's fake. It's fake as hell. Homie quit. Now a hedge fund manager's running it. Guy who doesn't know the drug industry. He was in sports his whole life. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. And then the founder, I'm sorry, the inventor, he going to jail. So you got the CEO, who, look, I like Remy, but he's not done well in biopharma. A lot of people don't like him. I like him. But he does not have a good reputation for delivering. 21 years, he quits. The shareholder, who's a nice guy, smart guy, but he's not a biopharma guy, he's in charge now. DOJ indicted the guy who invented the drug. Drug don't work. Data is terrible. There's no shareholder who knows anything about biopharma that's willing to buy it. The mechanism makes no sense. All the data it's based on was fraudulent. And even if it wasn't, it doesn't make sense. The whole thing is a fucking shit show, man. Come on, man. It's easy. This shit easy. You don't even have to think about it. The data comes out Q3, right? I'm sorry, at the end of the year, Q4. So they're just going to say it didn't work. I don't think that they can lie, right? I like how hard Oracle is chasing data center. It's just like totally not their business at all, right? But their business is to be in the business of any business. As long as it involves tech, you know? It's a smart company, man. Larry's smart. I like his approach. It's very almost like Buffett-esque. It's not as good as Microsoft, obviously, as kick their butt, but you know, it's this very like slow and steady business. And you know, if you wanna meet Shkreli, you know, I may have some availability in November or December. You just shoot me a DM on Instagram or something. No men. I don't do that. I'm done making male friends. Only male friends I have, my brother, my co-founders, my co-workers, a couple other homies. Yeah, you can hit me up on X too. I ain't trying to. Nah, you ain't my friend, dog. You ain't my friend, dog. Nibbles. Nibbles is female, so it's different. My brother's not cracked at programming. Why would I have a male friend, dog? You want to go play basketball, bro? Let's go collect some trading cards. Man. I get time for all that. You crazy? You trying to goon? You gooning, dog? Have a beer? Okay, maybe. I don't know. I just don't want to hang out with people. I'm so antisocial these days. I'm on the Galaxy Gas, but I am going to make my own Gorilla Gas. You'll see soon. Gorilla Gas. Getting into the medical gases market. It's actually a huge market. Cloud's a low margin business. I mean, they bought Sun. You know, it's pretty low margin as well. Services revenue declined. Okay. Hardware revenue declined. Cloud license increased. And cloud services increased. Total revenue increased. See, hold on. Hold up. Total revenue increased by 7%, which for Oracle is fast growth. And I do want to see if that's influenced by acquisition, since they're always buying something. Harambe gas. I'm just going to call it Gorilla Gas. You know, as like a nod to Harambe, but it's not Harambe. You know? I'm showing love without showing love, but I'm showing love. I don't know if that makes sense. All my real ones know what I'm talking about. Shut up, kitty. She's complaining. She's like, why not called Nibbles Gas? Is he not a gorilla? You're not a gorilla. You don't know nothing. Nobody wants Nibbles Gas or Kitty Cat Gas. Stupid kitty. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send you to my Haitian friend, man. His name's Jean. You want to see a picture of him? Yeah, I'll show you. His real name, Barbecue. And he eats kitties just like you. Look at that. Look at that. Look at him. They gonna eat you, kitty. Barbecue. They call him Barbecue for a reason. They call him Barbecue for a reason, kitty. You're done now. It's okay, Squirt. I'm not letting anybody hurt you. Don't worry. Don't worry. What the hell is this? You call this an SEC filing? Oh, okay. I see that it's just a pagination thing. Got it. Yeah, the problem with OpenBB is that it doesn't. Yeah, let me show you a bunch of issues. So there's a lot of issues. So like the first is, where do you get the data? How do I get the news, like just news? Like, do I have to sign up for every news outlet? Like, it doesn't make sense. How do you pay for them? Like each place is a different, each company is a different news system. Like, so the news API providers like Dow Jones and so forth, like you have to go share radar. Yeah, man, I don't. Okay, do they have news? Though I think the whole point is that you get. Yeah, I think you need a like the whole point of Bloomberg and Godel is that you need somebody else to do all that for you. Nobody on Wall Street's going to sit there and say, well, I need my Japanese stocks, so I have to like custom add the Nikkei because this data vendor doesn't have it. It's like, what the fuck? No. No, she's in heat. No, she does this every. You just want it to work. I mean, it needs to work right away. It needs to be reliable, and it's gotta do all this other stuff. And the CLI is kind of like, you got to understand, like, the average Wall Street guy is not running a CLI. On Linux. On the web, maybe. Not on Linux. Tell Steve Cohen to go pull up his bash. He's going to be looking at you like, excuse me? Can somebody throw this man in the garbage? Thank you. And then some big guy grabs you and tosses you in the trash. No, she's not neutered. Scamming Cameron. Okay. This company, Q4, seems to be doing pretty well. Brace yourself for audio. To blast your ears. Are they breaking out NetSuite for the first time? acres of NVIDIA GPUs. Jesus Christ. The hell? Oracle and Microsoft doing business together? What's next? Cats and dogs? So I'm guessing license support is database, basically. And this is like ERP database licenses. Anybody there, chat? Chat, you there? Error, try again. Chat's broken. Somebody hacked it, backtraced it. Right. Come on.
Answer other information.
All lines have been.
This is a jam. This is a bit of a bop. Let's go a little side-to-side action.
Hello and welcome to the Oracle Corporation Q1 Fiscal Year 2025 earnings call. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question and answer session, and if you would like to ask a question during this time, please press *1 on your telephone keypad. I would now like to turn the conference over to Ken Bond, Head of Investor Relations. You may begin.
Thank you, Sarah. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Oracle's first quarter fiscal year 2025 earnings conference call. A copy of the press release and financial tables, which includes a GAAP to non-GAAP reconciliation and other supplemental financial information, can be viewed and downloaded from our investor relations website. Additionally, a list of many customers who purchased Oracle Cloud Services or went live on Oracle Cloud recently will be available from the investor relations website. On the call today are Chairman and Chief Technology Officer Larry Ellison and Chief Executive Officer Safra Catz. As a reminder, today's discussion will include forward-looking statements, including predictions, expectations, estimates, or other information that might be considered forward-looking. Throughout today's discussion, we will present some important factors relating to our business, which may potentially affect these forward-looking statements. These forward-looking statements are also subject to risks and uncertainties that may cause actual results to differ materially from statements being made today. As a result, we caution you against placing undue reliance on these forward-looking statements, and we encourage you to review our most recent reports, including our 10-K and our 10-Q, and any applicable amendments for a complete discussion of these factors and other risks that may affect our future results.
Look at the capex.
Market price of our stock. And finally, we are not obligating ourselves to revise our results or these forward-looking statements in light of new information or future events. Before taking questions, we'll begin with a few prepared remarks, and with that, I'd like to turn the call over to Safra.
Thanks, Ken, and good afternoon, everyone. Before I go to our Q1 numbers, I thought I'd take only a moment to review some of the things that you'll be hearing about over the next couple of days from Oracle. We are at Cloud World in Las Vegas, and Cloud World is where we come together with our customers and partners to share experiences and showcase our latest products and services. Our customers are our best spokespeople when they share how our technology transformed their enterprises. The innovations from our labs and research centers, in combination with feedback from our customers, have helped us build superior products and services. You'll hear about new cutting-edge features within OCI, database, analytics, Fusion, NetSuite, and our industry applications. We will also be showing new capabilities that we've been working on for a while, including embedded AI agents in Fusion, and those drive productivity and efficiencies for our customers when they're rolled out. And as an Oracle Fusion customer myself, I take great pride once again in my team's ability to have us announce earnings and give guidance 9 days after the quarter ended. Many of our customers asked us how to replicate our results, and at Cloud World, we will be having a lot of Oracle playbook conversations this week. You've already seen today's announcement of our partnership with Amazon Web Services, which has now joined Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud in making OCI and Oracle available in their respective clouds. Needless to say, we think our multi-cloud strategy will expand the ubiquity and popularity of our differentiated technologies, especially the Oracle database. Larry will share more details in just a moment. But now to Q1, which was clearly another outstanding quarter, with total revenue at the high end of my guidance and earnings per share 4 cents above the high end of guidance. Currency was essentially in line with my guidance, and as usual, I'll be discussing.
I like how she owns it. It's my guidance.
Constant currency growth rates, as this is how we manage the business. Total cloud revenue, that's SaaS and IaaS, was up 22% at $5.6 billion, with SaaS revenue of $3.5 billion, up 10%, and an IaaS revenue of $2.2 billion, up 46%, on top of the 64% growth reported last year. As a reminder, we exited the advertising business last quarter, which had the effect of lowering the total cloud applications revenue by 2% this quarter. Total cloud services and license support for the quarter was $10.5 billion, up to...
Listen, if you really like investing, this is more exciting than a new album from Kanye. Like, you got to put your head in the game. You think this is boring? You think it's boring to listen to these people? Find a new job, man. Go work at McDonald's. You know, I'm lucky. I know what you mean, Kamal. I'm lucky to be on the playing field here. You know what I mean? I'm lucky, I'm privileged to be listening to the Oracle earnings call. Okay? Instead of, how may I help you? Welcome to McDonald's. You want fries with that? $6.99. Maybe that's the road you want to take, but I'm going to listen to Oracle, Larry.
11%, driven again by our strategic cloud applications, autonomous database, and OCI. Application subscription revenues, which includes product support, were $4.8 billion and up 7%. Our strategic back office SaaS applications now have annualized revenues of $8.2 billion, and we're up 18%. Infrastructure subscription revenues, which includes license support, were $5.8 billion and up 14%. Infrastructure cloud services revenue was up 46% and up 49% when you are excluding our legacy hosting services. Our infrastructure cloud services now have an annualized revenue of $8.6 billion. OCI consumption revenue was up 56%, and demand continued to outstrip supply. Cloud database services, which were up 23% and now have annualized revenues of $2.1 billion. Very importantly, as on-premise databases migrate to the cloud on OCI directly or through our database at cloud services with Azure, Google, and AWS, we expect those cloud database revenues collectively will be the third leg of revenue growth alongside OCI and strategic SaaS. Database subscription revenues, which includes database license support, were up 4%. Software license revenues were up 8% to $870 million, including Java, which saw excellent growth. So all in, total revenue for the quarter were $13.3 billion, up 8% from last year. Shifting to gross profit and operating income, the gross profit dollars of cloud services and license support grew 9% in Q1. As our cloud businesses continue to scale, the gross margin of both cloud applications and cloud infrastructure has each been climbing higher. We continue to display operating expense discipline, with Q1 operating income growing 14%, and the operating margin was 43%. The non-GAAP tax rate for the quarter was 18.9%, with non-GAAP EPS at $1.39 in US dollars, up 17% in USD, up 18% in constant currency. The GAAP EPS was $1.03 in US dollars, up 20% in USD, and up 22% in constant currency. Including in my guidance at the beginning of the quarter was the expected completion of an assessment of the useful lives of our servers and networking equipment, including an increase of the estimated lives from 5 years to 6 years, effective at the beginning of this fiscal year. This change in accounting estimate reduced Q1 operating expenses by about $197 million. At quarter end, we had nearly $11 billion in cash and marketable securities. The short-term deferred revenue balance was $11.5 billion, up 2%. Operating cash flow for Q1 was $7.4 billion, while free cash flow was $5.1 billion. On a trailing 12-month basis, operating cash flow was $19.1 billion and free cash flow was $11.3 billion. Our remaining performance obligations, or RPO, is now $99 billion, up 52% in constant currency. Now, while we typically see a seasonal decline of RPO in Q1, we signed several large deals this past quarter, resulting in a sequential increase in RPO compared to the big decline that we typically see based on our experience over the previous 5 years. Further, our cloud RPO grew more than 80% and now represents nearly 3/4 of total RPO. And approximately 38% of total RPO is expected to be recognized as revenue over the next 12 months, which reflects the growing trend of customers wanting larger and longer contracts as they see firsthand how Oracle Cloud Services are benefiting their businesses. We spent $2.3 billion on capex this quarter. Given the demand that you see in our RPO growth and the additional demand we have and see in our pipelines, I expect the fiscal year 2025 capex will be double what it was in fiscal 2024.
Wow.
As always, we remain careful to pace our investments appropriately and in line with booking trends. We now have 85 cloud regions live, another 77 planned, with more to follow. We have public cloud regions, we have dedicated cloud customer regions, we have national security regions, we have sovereign regions, we have Oracle Alloy regions with our partners, and we have multi-cloud regions with Azure and Google Cloud, and now shortly with AWS as well. This sizing flexibility
I love
and
her.
deployment optionality of our cloud regions continue to be significant advantages for us in the marketplace. As we said before, we're committed to returning value to our shareholders through technical innovation, strategic acquisitions, stock repurchases, prudent use of debt, and a dividend. This quarter, we repurchased 1.1 million shares for a total of $150 million. In addition, we paid out dividends of $4.4 billion over the last 12 months. And the board of directors again declared a quarterly dividend of 40 cents per share. Before I dive into specific Q2 guidance, I'd like to share some overarching thoughts and the benefits that I expect they will bring over the coming years. First, the Oracle database is thriving, and the multi-cloud agreements we now have with Microsoft, Google, and AWS make it easier for our customers to run their Oracle databases in the cloud. Second, we are rapidly expanding our OCI capacity to meet the demand that you see in our 52% RPO cloud growth. Third, while much attention is focused on our GPU-related businesses, our non-GPU infrastructure business continues to grow much faster than our competitors. And finally, our strategic SaaS apps continue to grow while we are starting to see more and more of our industry-based cloud apps come online. All these trends point to revenue growth going higher. We will discuss the implications of these positive trends at our financial analyst meeting on Thursday. For fiscal 2025, we remain very confident and committed to full-year total revenue growth growing double digits and full-year total cloud infrastructure revenue growing faster than last year. Let me now turn to my guidance for Q2, which I'll review on a non-GAAP basis. If currency exchange rates remain the same as they are now, currency should have about a 1% positive effect on total revenue and as much as a 3-cent positive effect on EPS. Hard to know for sure. However, the actual currency impact may be different. Total revenues are expected to grow from 7 to 9% in constant currency and are expected to grow between 8 and 10 in USD at today's exchange rate. Total cloud revenue is expected to grow from 23 to 25% in constant currency and 24 to 26 in USD. Non-GAAP EPS is expected to grow between 6 to 10 and be between $1.42 and $1.46 in constant currency. And non-GAAP EPS is expected to grow 8 to 12% and be between $1.45 and $1.49 in USD. My EPS guidance for Q2 assumes a base tax rate of 19%. However, one-time tax events could cause actual tax rates to vary. And with that, sorry it was so long, and with that, I'll turn it over to Larry for his comments.
Thank you, Sandra. Today, Oracle has 162 cloud data centers, live and under construction throughout the world. The largest of these data centers is 800 megawatts, and it will contain acres of NVIDIA GPU clusters able to train the world's largest AI models. That's what's required to stay competitive in the race to build just one, of the most powerful artificial neural networks in the world. The stakes are high and the race goes on. Soon, Oracle will begin construction of data centers that are more than a gigawatt. Building giant data centers with ultra-high performance RDMA networks and huge 32,000 node NVIDIA GPU clusters is something that Oracle has proven to be very good at. It's the reason we're doing so well in the AI training business. It's important to remember that we first developed those high-performance RDMA networks to interconnect our Exadata CPU cluster hardware that powers our Exadata database cloud service. The Oracle Database Cloud Service running on Exadata and Exascale RDMA clusters provide an order of magnitude better performance, better scalability, better reliability, and better security than other databases. And it's still the world's only autonomous, fully self-driving database. Our large and loyal customer base understands and appreciates the many technical advantages of using the Oracle database. And those customers wanted us to find a way to make the very latest and best Oracle technology available on other clouds in addition to OCI. We found a way. With today's AWS announcement, our customers will be able to use Oracle's latest Exadata and Exascale RDMA clusters with the latest versions of our database software from within the Microsoft Azure cloud, from within the Google cloud, and from within the AWS cloud. This will enable customers to use the Oracle database anywhere and everywhere. That has always worked well for our customers and for our database business. We believe our cloud partnerships with AWS and Microsoft and Google will turbocharge the growth of our database business for years to come. Back to you.
Thank you, Larry. Sarah, if you could please poll the audience for questions.
Thank you. If you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. If you would like to withdraw your question, simply press star 1 again. Please ensure that your phone is not on mute when called upon. Thank you. Your first question comes from the line of John DiFucci with Guggenheim Securities. Your line is open.
I remember all these guys.
Thank you. Larry and Safra, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff here, but I'd like to ask a question on margins. You keep putting up strong cloud numbers, especially the OCI numbers that look, when you give guidance and you look at what you have to do to hit them, they look really difficult to do, to say the least. We also assume that upside to RPO, and you pointed out, Seth, for the sequential increase. I think the last time there was a sequential increase is because you bought Cerner and it just added RPO because of that. I assume a big part of that's OCI too. You mentioned it's cloud, 3/4 of it. So that indicates there's more to come, right? So given the mix of business continuing to lean into that lower margin OCI, and I know you have that's changing over time, but it's still lower margin today. How should we think of overall margins versus profit for the entire company going forward?
Okay, let me start with this and maybe then Larry can add on. So first of all, I want to remind you that remember that third leg of the stool I mentioned, which is our database and autonomous database? That is also part of OCI. And that is beginning to really expand, and our multi-cloud agreements, again, will help OCI gross margins. So that you know, gross margins, even this quarter, as a percentage, increased, regardless of the fact that we have a lot more OCI. And so our business is really only now starting to get real scale. And we have built OCI in a way, and Larry can really expand on it, where it is extremely automated, the management of it is very automated, and our whole rollout, as it grows, we make more money. And as much as percentages are great, and again, our operating margin percentages continue to increase, and OCI increases.
Some advice about women. I'm an expert at this. I only speak on that which I have extreme knowledge on. No, in all seriousness, nobody has the instruction manual for women, no matter how much experience you get. But you have to get experience, and then you get a sense for really clear body language, which is sometimes hard to interpret. That's the most important thing. It's hard, man. I wish you luck. I think each age group is different. Eventually, women around your 20s start focusing on money. That's just my experience. Before then, they don't really care about money. I'd say it's more about cloud and your looks and things like that. And those things never fully go away, but money starts to sort of take over as what's important. But confidence is like, there's things like confidence that are really, really critical. You're confident in who you are. Women will find that attractive. So there's a lot of elements to that, but I'm not a pickup artist. There's plenty of content for that. But I'd say, women understand and appreciate intellect. Contrary to popular belief, they do want guys that like them and care about them, not the guy that treats them like crap. Negging is not my strat, but negging can work. Some guys like to neg, but it doesn't mean you treat them like crap. Negging is kind of a playful teasing if it's done correctly. Be yourself, just be confident in who you are. Don't feel envious of anybody. Just be really proud of who you are, and the rest kind of will fall into place. And practice. Talk to as many women as you can. That's the key. Once they stop intimidating you and you start feeling comfortable in your own skin, it gets easy. Another key point here that kind of is important to keep in mind is they need men as much as men need them, right? So nobody has an upper hand here. That's just something to keep in mind. I think a lot of guys who are younger, maybe some of you who are older too, you feel like, oh, what does Sydney Sweeney want to do with me? I'm stupid old me. Well, maybe not Sydney Sweeney, but there's plenty of women who, they're looking for a man, and that's it. So sometimes you see a guy with a really ugly guy with a really beautiful woman, and you say, what the heck? How is this possible? Well, the answer is, there's a lot of women who need a man. They just want a man, any man. You can be that any man. You don't always get your dream guy or your dream girl in that case. So, get your foot in the door. That's my advice. Hope it helps. But your confidence is key. More and more women want a so-called alpha male. You don't have to go overboard. With that stuff, but I do think, the era of the manly man is back, and it doesn't mean that you're, got the biggest muscles or anything. It's more about your assertiveness, and, women want a guy that's decisive. Sometimes they want a guy who will order food for them, make decisions. They want to be pampered sometimes, not always. Depends on the girl. Every girl's different. But I do think, women do transition to a point where they want a man who will care for them maybe while they give birth and become a mother. It'd be nice to have all the things taken care of so they don't have to work, and they might look at you and say, that's the kind of guy that can make this happen. Or they might look at you and say, this broke-ass, bitch-ass culero doesn't have the money and he can't take care of me. They want you to buy nice things, and they want you to do all that stuff. So you got to show that you're worth investing in. Women will make that estimation. They'll look at you and say, this guy's going to, in 5-10 years, this guy's going to be president of his own company. And they might look at you and say, in 5-10 years, this guy will probably be dead or in jail. Or they might say, in 5 or 10 years, this guy's just going to be a loser. And I don't want to be with a loser. But again, if women are looking for what works right now, and you may not necessarily want to be around those types of women, but to the extent you do, basically they just care about your pecs and your biceps. And if you go work on those every day, you'll be fine. But you got to work on them every day. And honestly, the ugliest guy in the world can get laid just off that. And it's not hard. Doesn't matter what your race is, doesn't matter what your face, your race. Go work on those pecs, work on those biceps, and you will be fine. Of course, don't work on those. Don't need to. But for the men that are struggling with women, it's basically a surefire way. Women just they can't resist it. And it doesn't take that much time, maybe an hour a day. And then it's maintenance once you get there. If you do an hour a day, you're going to see the difference, and you're going to see women looking at you like this. When you walk by, they're going to go, you can't miss it. I'm going to say, what's that? And it'll make you feel happy. It'll make you feel confident. Do men only care about looks? Yes and no. Men are bizarre. We do care a lot about looks, but we also care about whether a woman is sort of fun and bubbly, or like what kind of attitude they have. Really pretty girls can be really dull and boring, and kind of like, if they're bitchy or they have that RBF or just kind of a stern, closed attitude, can be really a turnoff. But guys like different things. Personally, I like a woman who's fun, just fun and not not bothering me about stuff. You know, really easygoing and kind of chill. A lot of women don't realize sometimes they're not doing that. And sometimes it's a power struggle in a relationship, and you embody the struggle in your attitude. And instead of communicating assertively, you kind of communicate passive-aggressively. And that's the way relationships break down. So I think guys like attitude, maybe even more than looks. If you gave me a chick who had a really positive attitude, was fun to be around, like always cool, I'd like to be around that more than the prettier girl. And even when it comes to like sexiness, like and stuff like that, like there is an art to that, like being able to flirt and do stuff like that. It's not a given, you know. It takes a little bit of skill, you know. So some women think just because they're beautiful, that's all it takes. No, it takes more than that just to turn a guy on. Sometimes you got to kind of be. I don't know what to say, but there's an art to it. What's the old saying, maybe that sums it up right? Geek in the streets and freak in the sheets, something like that. That's kind of the good mantra for women. I don't know anything about snooze. I also think there's a limit to how much money and how focused you are on money too. Like, all else being equal, everyone wants to be rich. But I think there's a lot of women that would also want you to be a good father too. If you have this weird, obsessive, compulsive need to make money, and that's what you're showing to a potential partner. You know, like for example, like I have time maybe one day a week for women, maybe. That's really not conducive to a successful relationship, and I know that, which is why you don't see tons of girls around me, and I could easily snap my fingers and be drowning in women, but it's not what I'm optimizing for. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking, you know, to make yet another successful startup, and maybe another year or two, I'll have more time for other things. But for now, that's not my focus. And women care about that. You know, it's not fair to a woman. Now they could stand by you while you build your business or something like that. But you know, it's people need attention. Just like my cat comes around and meows, and I scratch her head, and then she's happy, and she goes and sleeps for 8 hours. Every living being needs that. Women, men, everyone. So, you know, it's not that responsible if you can't pay attention to them and do stuff like that. And a lot of younger people have that issue, so that's why a lot of younger relationships are based around sex, and they're pretty meaningless kinds of relationships. But, you know, everyone's lonely and wants to be around somebody, so it's perfectly normal. I think a lot of guys, like, lowering your standards, maybe it's like the best way to put it, but like, as you get older, you realize like getting the prettiest girl in the world is really not gonna make you happier. I think, obviously if you're disgusted by somebody, you probably shouldn't pursue them, but, you know, a lot of the best relationships I've been in are not the chicks you'd find to be the prettiest. You might look at a binder of my ex-girlfriends, you might say, oh wow, she's so pretty, and then you might say, what were you thinking with that one? And it's, if you ask me to go back and say, well, which of these did I regret maybe not being with now or whatever, you know, it's probably a lot of girls that you wouldn't expect. And my advice is to actually give people a chance, you know? I hate to use numbers because it's a terrible way to do it, but just in the looks department, if the 5 wants a date with you and the 8 wants a date with you, go on both dates. You know, don't say, oh, I'm too good for this girl or something like that. I don't think that's a healthy way to do it. See what it's like, you know. You might end up really liking them. And yeah, for every man, there's a woman. For every 3, there's another 3 out there. And, you know, you might pull a 7 as a 3 and a 7 and vice versa, you know. So it's not like that's the only dimension. Again, Donald Trump met Kamath's wife, and he gave the old joke. He said, you must be very, very rich. Or he must be very, very rich, implying, you know, that the only way Kamath could get a woman that beautiful is if he was very rich, and happens to be true in that case. But there's always a way. Again, there's a lot of ugly guys who, like, they're really ugly, but if they really fit, there's a lot of women that can't resist that. Yeah, don't want to be around a girl that has tons of male friends. I agree with that one. He's so chill, though. That means she's gonna fuck him, like, ASAP. He's like my best friend. Oh yeah, that's right. I can't get this to work. What is going on here? Four off, but I had... That's weird. I don't like it, but is the right thing. It looks like this 4 isn't being used. It's like the wrong number or something. It's like totally bizarre. Might as well just make a note of it and move on. So the question is, like, for Oracle, if you look at the Cloud IaaS, that's basically the NVIDIA stuff. And it's grown to be a big business, pretty big business for them. Cloud IaaS, or Cloud SaaS, is a bit of a different business, but that's also growing. Just not that much. This is the database business, I think, which they've perennially been trying to get to grow. It's not so easy. we're going to improve these financials on Godel, so they're basically just like my models, but more automatic and all kinds of other features. I can't wait till those features come in. We're working hard on that. Maybe make an Excel inside the browser. Yeah, I don't believe too heavily in platonic relationships between men and women. NVIDIA's going crazy. Anybody know why? NVIDIA did a deal with the UAE. I'm going to look at Nuvalent and Nuvation. Yeah, the UAE, the whole Middle East wants to buy a lot of NVIDIA chips. They kind of are attracted to anything expensive. The hell? All right, so this company's Nuvation, and they have a ton of cash. It's a biotech company, so more in my wheelhouse. Although I've looked at Oracle a long time, I feel like Oracle is probably the software company I know the most. Class A convertible stock, okay. Class A, B. Alright. $248 million. Okay. I don't know exactly what puts, like, I wouldn't go with puts. I'd go with short common, and then just buy a smattering of puts. But I really don't know exactly what put to buy. Okay, revenue. So they went public through a SPAC. And they bought Anhart. Taletrectinib, okay. ROS1 non-small cell lung cancer is basically non-small cell lung cancer, which is the main type of lung cancer, that has a mutation in a gene called ROS1. But you guys knew that. The CEO of this company is somebody who did really well in a prior company. Drug conjugate? That's a funny name. That's kind of an interesting idea, though. Pretty smart idea. Yeah, these aren't great targets. The drug conjugate's kind of interesting. ROS1 is, I don't even know. Aren't the other ROS1 drugs not doing well? I'll look into that, obviously. These risk factors are crazy. All right. Enough of that. This is a Bristol drug, right? Repo. Repotrectinib. It's approved now too. It's Olgatiro, ROS1 cancer. Approved just in June. They bought a company called Turning Point for this. And Turning Point, they paid a fortune for it. How many patients have ROS1 mutations? One to 2%. Olgatiro price. $30K a month. Does that sound right? Maybe. $30K a month. Woo. Pfizer has one too. Everyone has one. Xalkori is not explicitly ROS1, right? Unacretinib. Who are these guys? Some bizarre company. I mean, how many patients is that? Like, 4 or 500? Tough market to split. Looks like a new Pfizer inhibitor, or did this end up becoming an FDA-approved drug? Yeah, lorlatinib. Lorlatinib. I don't know. Does it treat ALK as well? Let's take a look. That's Lobrina, I believe. It's a different one. No, same one. 646. Okay. This is that one I was looking at earlier. Entrectinib is the other one, I guess, but pretty impressive results here. It's almost certain to get approved here, right? Now I'm interested. May not be a big drug, but it's a drug. Yeah, this could be good. This could be good. I don't know who I'd recommend for 30 under 30. I don't really know that many people. Oh, there's a bunch. You know, mostly. I mean, I just look at the Teal Fellow list. Yeah, this is super interesting, actually. I mean, even if it's a solid $100 million drug, it's pretty cheap, but it has to actually get there, and I don't know, it looks like a repotrectinib is sort of like the favored drug, and people don't like this one. At least that's what the market's saying. So I got to go through, with a fine-tooth comb, go through the repotrectinib data and then go through the all the ROS1 inhibitors, but that is a tantalizing possibility. They need more stuff. They have to run a US study? Looks like there's 2 Chinese studies, which isn't great. He's also got an extremely good track record. Is it Dr. Hung? I don't remember if he's a doctor. He's got a very good track record. Yeah, pretty good results. Could be even a $200 million drug possibly, based on duration of therapy. I'm gonna add it to my focus. Put it right there, just for you. Cool. All right, well, oh yeah, I definitely want to look at Ionis for sure. I know, I remember when Ionis was called ISIS. I met their CEO, Stan Crook. Let me get this straight. CEO is named Stan Crook, and the company's name is ISIS Pharmaceuticals. Chad, is this real? Is this real life? They were the first company to make antisense drugs. So yes, I know the company very well. I'll refresh the portfolio and see what They changed the name to Ionis due to obvious circumstances. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes the webcast. Maybe I'll come back later today, but really appreciate you hanging out with me, looking at a couple stocks. Nothing too exciting. I'll put OPRA on my list here up here as well. Why not? Caught up with Oracle. Definitely want to look into Nuvation a little bit. That could be a good long. Yeah, make sure you check out the Godel terminal. We're taking on Bloomberg. And try it out and give me your feedback. All right, guys.